See, I'm saying that these things are inevitable, that we should embrace the fact that there's a learning curve. We should embrace the fact there's going to be a brick wall, and we should work with it. You can do it right now because, as I mentioned at the top of my talk, you already know this stuff. You already know the answers. You know the answers way better than I do, but it has to be drawn out. So here is what it visually looks like. You have your commitments and your strengths, and in the center of that is your mission. This is done very, very carefully. And notice that the mission starts to form a little V. And that's on purpose, because what I want to say is, out of that point, that comes your action. So what is commitment? We got to get on the same page with some of these terms. Here's what I define commitment as, and we're going to use it through the rest of the talk. Are you willing to drop anything that interferes with this? Because if sacrifice doesn't show up behind commitment, guess what it means? You're not committed. Okay, how's that different from e-thinking? With e-thinking, you start with what? The manna moment, what's in front of you right now, not what you don't have, not where you want to be. You just look down and say, this is what we have right now. But there's something kind of magical that happens is, as you deploy, the goals start to emerge because we didn't anticipate that brick wall as we got, 3 steps out. So now we have to react to that. So what's legacy cost? Why is that important? As we're getting feedback, there's lots of shiny objects coming up and lots of noise, and we're not sure how to evaluate it. But you remember, the value V is what? Commitment, strengths, mission-based. That's what sets our direction. What legacy cost is this. I'm making this up, but I think it's a valuable term. In economics, you have opportunity cost, which says, we could do 2 things, but we can't do the 2 things at the same time. So any one thing I do trades another thing off. And the question is, am I putting my resources to the highest, best use that I can? And that's legacy cost. We don't care about opportunity cost. You could make more or less profit, fine. But in this spiritual leadership setting, we have to say, but with legacy, and I believe legacy is this, by the way. I believe legacy is that wherever you were, that you left a breadcrumb trail that led back to the kingdom. You see, because I believe that my ministry is business. Great effort, little results. That's when you know that you're at the invisible line. When it feels like you're doing 110, 150%, and it's getting nowhere. That's when you know that you're there. But how do you get past? Well, I think it's just a matter of mindset, not so much a matter of resources or any of the technicals or mechanics. So don't give up. That's very nice and cliche. But here's the way to think about it. You have to find, this is important. This is really important. You have to find the significant force that exists when you reach that feeling like you're overtaxed capacity. And if you can find the significant force, if you just put a little bit more effort on it. I'm talking about not the guy pushing, but a little finger. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy's just there, he's at the edge of the cliff, the rock's almost ready to go over, and then a friend comes along and just pushes in the right spot, and it comes loose. If you can find that, then what I say that you do is that you would double down on that thing. We've already had some questions. Well, should I do it all? Or, what should we do? Should we cut some things? And well, here's the thing. How do we find out what significant force is? Organizations, but we'll say people, is smart and lazy. And here's how you figure it out. I got to be dramatic here so that it'll hit home. So you have this matrix, and lazy and stupid people just stay away. Now, here's the challenge. If you have someone who's really hardworking but not so smart, fire them. And I'll explain why in a minute. If you have someone who's hardworking and smart, they are people that get stuff done. Keep those people. If you have somebody who is lazy and smart, they're the person that should leave. Now, let me just clarify. What I mean by lazy is they think with an 80-20 mind. They know that I cannot expend all my effort on everything, but I can take it and apply it in just the right spot, and that'll multiply our efforts.